good as well. There'll be a little bit of technique that I will call out during the demo of me cooking the pad thai. And then, of course, your pad thai noodles. These, what you do is I like to soak mine in hot water. I don't boil it or anything like that. I just soak them in hot water for probably about 25 to 30 minutes. And then they rehydrate, and then they're kind of good to go. Okay? So, the sauce. Now, this is the key to the pad thai, is the sauce. There's two keys to this when you do this. One is caramelization and the sauce. Now, the sauce, which will be in the recipe, I'll give it to Chef when it's time. And then basically in this, there is fish sauce, sugar, and vinegar. I use rice wine vinegar in this, but the recipe will be, it's 3 parts of sugar, 2 parts of fish sauce, and 1 part of vinegar. And that's the way I kind of made it simple for everybody to do, because everybody has 3 guests to 20 guests. So when you use by parts, meaning parts could be anything. You could take this container and be a part. You could take this bottle and be a part. It doesn't have any measurement just by part. So if you had a party of 20, you would use something bigger, versus if you had a party of 3, you would use something smaller. And that's the way I made it simple for everybody at home to do. And you will get that recipe later on today. But that's one of the keys. This is the secret sauce. Now you know the secret, so let's get started. Okay, so I said, we preheat the pan a little bit. So we're going to preheat the pan, which we've done already. It's about medium-high heat. A nice little sear would be good. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the oil, and you add a little bit of oil. And this is canola oil, so it is smoking. So we're going to turn it down a tad bit. Now, I don't use olive oil to cook, guys. I use canola oil, grapeseed oil, vegetable oil. I don't know if you guys ever seen my Instagram, but I talk about olive oil being very bad for you once you heat it. Something we do with the enzymes in the olive oil turns to become a bad fat. So very low temp with olive oil. But when you heat with other neutral oils like this is okay. Okay. First thing you're going to do is you're going to let the heat pan, and then you're going to go ahead and drop some egg inside. I prefer 2 eggs because I really love eggs. So we're going to go ahead and heat that up. Then we're going to go ahead and scramble it. It's okay to use a non-stick pan. I'm using a regular all-clad pan. Any pan is fine. Non-stick would be a lot easier for you guys if you do a non-stick pan. Okay. Once the egg is cooked, we're going to push it to the side and leave it there. Okay. Then you're going to take the shrimp, and then you're going to also season your shrimp. A little bit of salt on there. And we're probably, if your pan is still not enough fat in there, go ahead and add a little bit more to sear the shrimp. Okay? So you went eggs and then shrimp. We're going to cook the shrimp. Now, the difference between, I said there was going to be some technique in here. So if you guys are doing chicken, now this is only for chicken. Chicken you're going to drop first before the egg. After the chicken is cooked, then you're going to push that to the side and add the egg. So it's a reverse method here. We did the egg first, now we do the shrimp. Okay. Now we have the shrimp cooking on both sides. Once that is done, okay, and this is all done on medium heat first. Okay, once that is done, we'll push that to the side. And now you're going to go ahead and grab your aromatics, which is like onions and garlic. Okay. So now the pan is, you're going to start tossing all the pan up and everything like that. Get everything all cooked. Okay. Now, right after this, you're going to leave some room. I always end up pushing everything up. You can push up or to the side. Okay. Now, we're going to grab your noodles. We're going to go ahead and put your noodles in here. Okay. So this serving is probably about for 2 people, and depending on how hungry you are. Okay. So now, get all the noodles in. Now you go with the sauce. Now this is very crucial. You see how the pan, I turned up the pan a tad bit. only reason why is because you want the caramelization. The two secret things to this is caramelization and the sauce. So this is what we're doing. So you need this caramelization, almost like the burnt style. Not, oh, I mean, right before burnt. Basically, caramelization is what you use when you take out all the sugars and bring them on, turn them brown. You go ahead and turn that up, let the sauce go. And it's almost not really reducing, but you're just trying to get some color in here. Okay. And also, too, when you guys do chicken, make sure the chicken is fully cooked, 165. You guys have a thermometer. It's important to poke on the cubes of chicken. And the chicken will be with cubes as well. So you cube up the chicken. Okay, so we're starting to get some of that color, guys. If you can see, we got the color on the edges. And that's during like caramelization. So that's what you're looking for. And in the meantime, my shrimp is still was about medium rare before I put the noodles in. And you're doing that so that because it still continues to cook in the pan. Okay, now you're gonna go ahead and give it a little toss. Now we got a little bit of dark color. You can still go a little bit more brown than this if you choose to, but we're almost there. Okay, in the meantime, while you're letting that brown, we will go ahead and get your bowl or your serving vessel, whatever you decide to do. And all right, so we got some nice color on here. Okay, so if you're like me, I still plate like at home. I still plate like I plate at work. So we're gonna go ahead and add the noodles first with the egg and the onion to the center of the plate. And then I'm gonna add the shrimp to the top, all facing the same way. And no joke, I plate like this too, so at home. Okay, add a little bit more to that. Okay. We'll go ahead and put that to the side. Now we will garnish. So basically, that's your finished product. Now we're gonna garnish, okay? So the only thing that's missing in here is green sprouts, but other than that, everything else is pretty much the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw some green onion right in the middle, there, okay? And then what I've seen in the past, a lot of Thai restaurants, they always put things kind of to the side, maybe in case you don't like it. But I'm gonna go ahead and put that peanuts to one side, and then I'm gonna get a nice clump of chili flake because I love it. I love spice. Put it to the other side, and then to finish, we're gonna go fresh lime. So there you go, guys. Simple, easy, streamlined sauce for pad thai. Easy as that. People love it. I mean, it's a fantastic thing. And I hope you guys enjoyed that demo. And if you guys got any questions, I'll pass it on to Chef Alicia and get started. Thank you.
Thank you, Chef. That looked amazing. Can't wait to get that recipe from you. We can share it with everyone. Does anybody have any questions? You can go ahead and unmute yourselves, or you can go ahead and ask away in the chat box, and I'll read them out to Chef Justin. Chef, could you use some kind of, if you don't have those rice noodles, could you use some sort of different noodle instead?
Yeah, because truly it wouldn't be a traditional pad thai, but the flavor is still there. So go ahead and use a ramen noodle. That would work. I don't know of truly about pasta itself, like regular pasta, Italian pasta, but hey, why not, right? I mean, you use what you got, and if that's what you have, by all means. But the flavor will still be there with the sauce. So I think if you rather have a pasta noodle, by all means, go ahead. It'd be Italian pad thai. There you go.
We have a question from Tyler. Do you recommend adding tamarind to your sauce?
You can. The problem, I mean, a lot of people don't know how to work with tamarind. Unless you do, by all means, go ahead. It's a very diverse sauce. It's very simple. So if you want to add any enhancement, by all means, go ahead. I've never done it, but a lot of people don't know how to use it. But if you do, by all means, go ahead.
What other proteins would you recommend adding to pad thai?
I've seen calamari is another good one, which is out of the norm. Um, I've loved fried tofu or crispy tofu is my favorite actually. I've seen eggplant as a dominant vegetable in this, so if you love eggplant, go ahead. Um, but I think, calamari, you could do a fish. I mean, why not, right? I would maybe grill the fish on the side and then add it as the pad thai being the side dish. So um, I've, beef is just as good, but for me, I think personally, either tofu or shrimp would be my favorite pad thai in my eyes.
Tyler also asked, besides pad thai, what is another one of your favorite noodle dishes to cook and why?
Mine, it's got to be ramen, man. I'm part Japanese, and I was raised in a Japanese culture in my house, and I really, really, really love ramen. I mean, that's my favorite. And on a side note, the broth for our broadliners are is very good. It's a very good ramen broth, the tonkatsu broth. I actually went to Japan twice with UFC, and I got to try a lot of authentic ramen, and yeah, I think that's my favorite ramen.
We have a question from Derek. If you use tofu, what's the best way to get it crispy?
I would deep fry it would be my first choice. Now, if we're at home, like I have a deep fryer at home, so I would use that. If not, pan sear at the medium low heat for a long period of time. Basically searing both sides. I would do that way if you can't get to a fryer. Um, and if you're trying to watch what you eat, an air fryer would probably work. You probably just have to adjust the time a little bit. Um, but yeah, I think fryer would be number one, and then searing would be number two, and then another tie with two would be an air fryer. I've never done it, so you know, let me know how it goes if anybody out there got an air fryer and you guys fry tofu that way.
What firmness of tofu do you recommend?
So I would stay extra firm in this case. Um, if you ever try to fry a soft tofu, it doesn't work in the fryer. So extra firm to firm would be recommended. Um, and yeah, I mean that's I save the soft tofu for like soups and stuff like that.
Tyler asked, is sauteed the preferred method for pad thai versus stir fried or a wok?
Yeah, technically I would rather use a wok due to the high heat and the cast iron from the wok is a better way to do it because of the high temperature, and that's what you need. An all clad would work just as good because of the thick gauge of the pan. But other than that, I mean, if you don't have access to any of that, I mean, sauteing would be good. You just need to caramelize, so maybe less stirring and less movement once the noodles is in and soft.
Could you leave the shrimp heads on?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100% leave and it's all a personal preference, right? I mean, if I left the head on here in UFC, people would freak out. I mean, I probably have a handful of people who know what that is, but by all means, I mean that's where all the flavors is, man. I mean, great question. Yes, you can leave but the problem, not the problem, but with that, you have to probably cook the shrimp a little longer with the head on. So I would give it a little bit of time when you do that.
Cool, thank you, Chef. Do we have any other questions from anyone? We're gonna try to get the recipe out to you guys by today. I will see about emailing that out and getting this video up on YouTube and having the recipe there as well. Nobody has any other questions. I'm gonna go ahead and conclude today's meeting. Someone asked for the sauce recipe that will follow. Is it okay to use monk fruit instead of sugar?
Uh, you know, I mean, I would say go ahead and try it because I'm always open-minded about things. And yeah, you could, you know what, you could replace it is with a, they have that new stevia sugar. You can go ahead and try and use that. But what I would do is I would actually up the par by 1.5 if I use that stevia plant sugar, which you can find at the grocery store. I would do that instead. Just personally, personal experience, I use that at my house. So, monk fruit, I don't know. I have never used it before in that way. So I would say go give it a try. Why not? But if you want another sugar replacement, I would suggest doing a stevia sugar instead. And we would just probably up it a little bit more than what the recipe calls for, which would probably be about a half.
Perfect. Thank you, Chef, for that demo. It was great.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Please, everybody, tune in with us next week. We've got Chef Jim Chapman, who showed us his vegan recipe last time. He's going to be on with us next week doing a duck curry and roti from his house. I will also be showing you guys a video on Thursday. So if you guys have no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and let Chef Justin get back to his cafe. And everybody else, have a great day today and great weekend. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll see you on again next time.
Oh, yes, please. I would love to. Thank you.